All right, I want to provide a quick update on where I'm at with the coin sorter analyzer. There's a project I introduced a couple of videos ago. I'll put a link up here if you want to go check it out. So the idea is that I've got all these pennies that my dad left me. I'd love to be able to go through and analyze them and see if there's anything of value in there, but I'm just kind of lazy and don't want to spend the time it's going to take to sit here and look at each one. This one is 1930. I can't read the mint location. You know, look at all the information on here and then go try to figure out what they're worth. You know, so instead of spending that time, I'm going to spend a whole lot more time trying to create a system that will do the same thing for me. And as I mentioned, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. So anything I can find that's pre-made to put the system together, I'm going to use those tools already out there. So if you remember, the system began with a hopper. It was kind of a hopper that would be able to take the coins and put them in a single line so I can drop them on a conveyor, move them over to some type of camera where I can, you know, take an image of it and have some type of system analyze the image and determine the potential value of the coin and then sort them in the end. So I started with just the hopper system. So this was initially a coin sorter. It was only meant to work with Euro coins. I couldn't find the same kind of thing that was, you know, set up for American coins. So the cool thing is I ended up modifying this piece of it to take out the little holes, because there was different size holes the coins will fall in and land in a catcher down here. I took that out and I modified the piece here, took the holes out. It still left a little bit of the indentation where they're at, but the coins still seem to slide okay. And again, this is not my model at all. I'll put a link to the YouTube video where the guy shows how to assemble it, and I'll put a link to the model in case you want to go download and print one for yourself. I printed all of this in PLA, a couple of colors. I had to come back and print anything that you see in black. I had to print that in PETG. I was having issues with any of the snap fit connections. I would try to snap them in and they would just break. The PLA was just a little bit too brittle. The PETG worked perfect. So if you're wanting to print your own, just make sure you have the right filament. But anyway, like I said, the goal is drop a few coins in there. I mean, more than that, hopefully. And you can see it goes through. Now I haven't done the work where this will actually drop it off the end. I just had where it would line up, but I'll eventually want a conveyor coming down here that I can line the coins up on as they come off this little rail, and then go in front of the camera and get their picture made to be analyzed. So that's where I am at this point. Now there's still some things on here I would like to fix. As I mentioned earlier, you can see there the little ridges. When I added a part to this in Creality Print, I didn't really get it the perfect height, so it didn't take out all of the little holes there. There's still kind of a shadow of where those holes go. But again, this isn't perfect. I'm not trying to make this perfect. This isn't an end product. This is just a way to get started. I'm kind of taking the whole approach of if you do any kind of software development or been around software development, you know, the whole idea of trying to create a minimal viable product. That's what I'm trying to do right now, is trying to get a product out here. Now granted, you usually do that because you get different requirements from the users, and they want, between the users and build team, there's some breakdown of communication. I'm the build team and the user, so hopefully there's no breakdown of communication there. But still, instead of trying to build out an entire system where everything is perfect, I'm just going to try to build out each little section in kind of a makeshift way to see how the overall product works. And then I can come back one at a time and try to make a better hopper with a better sorter to, you know, be able to get the coins lined up. But for now, I'm just trying to create a basic system and be able to test this out and see how the functionality works. I'm really ready to get to the point where I can take the picture with a camera and then analyze that system on a computer. But that part is still a ways off, and that's going to be the biggest learning part for me. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Again, just as always, I'm always looking for ideas on this project. Please leave your comments. And if you see anybody online that's got a similar product, I mean, I've seen tons of them where they're using Arduino to count coins. It's a sorter, and then as they fall, it counts them. That's great, but that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something to analyze and give a potential value of the coin. And again, I think I could use this for my coins that I've got, all the pennies that my dad left. But you know, you could also go, every time you go to the bank and come home with a pocket full of change, just throw it in here and let it run, and you know, kind of alert you if there's anything of value. Otherwise, you just, you know, cash it all out and use to go spend the money and buy something with it. But Anyway, thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.